Breaking right now, Princess Diana's bitter and twisted brother Charles Spencer has yet again taken his sister's name in vain by claiming that she would be completely proud.
Breaking news. A staggering claim has rocked the royal world. Angela Levin questions the legitimacy of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's children in the royal line.
Of Prince Harry and his deranged campaign against the British media, seeming to completely forget that actually it was Princess Diana who had probably the closest relationship with the British media of any royal in history. But here's what Charles Spencer had to say. It takes an enormous amount of guts to take on opponents like news group newspapers and great tenacity to win. And it's just wonderful that Harry fought for and gained an apology to his mother. She would have been incredibly touched at that and rightly proud. Now, Angela Levin, I completely disagree with that sentiment. Firstly, Harry didn't win. I've been calling him the Pussy Prince this week because he was the one that wanted this settlement, having previously said that he was the Dragon Slayer. Well, hell no, the Dragon Slayer ended up being the Frog Prince. But what do you make of Charles Spencer saying that Diana would have been so proud of Harry? Because to me, that is such a slight against Prince William, because of course Harry was so critical of the deal that William did with Rupert Murdoch and News UK. Even though, by the way, I think William did completely the right thing. He did it privately and then he donated all of the money to charity, something we haven't seen from Harry.
We haven't heard anything about that yet.
No,
have we?
because it's not going to happen. I mean, look, I'd be delighted if it would happen, but they need the money. He's got to pay all of the legal fees, and then he's got to keep Meghan happy. So I don't think any of the money will be going to charity personally, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But what do you make of Charles Spencer invoking Diana here and saying she would have been so proud?
I think it was a dreadful thing to do, and actually completely wrong, because they were so different. He is quite hard and harsh, and he's had a lot of family trouble. But if you look at his family going back, all of the fathers were very aggressive towards their wives. He's now on his going to be his fourth wife, and each one he's been rather unpleasant about leaving that wife. And I don't think he's got a sort of deep passion and a understanding of what women are really like. I'm sorry to say that. I have interviewed him a few times, and that was my decision about him. But I think, you see, Diana treated her children that they should care. It was very important to care about people and not to think about themselves, and that money didn't matter very much. What did matter was to look after people.
Could Archie and Lilibet's royal status be at risk? This could shake the monarchy's foundation. Hit subscribe for updates on this royal drama. Angela Levin isn't just any commentator. She's an author and royal biographer with years of experience covering the monarchy. She suggested that doubts over Archie and Lilibet's connection to Harry and Meghan could jeopardize their place in the royal succession.
And Diana, when they went at Christmas to big shops, she wouldn't let them go to the front to meet Santa Claus. They had to stand in a queue for a long time, like everybody else. And the owners of these stores would say, please, please, no, they've got to learn. It's not about money. It's not about going there. She wouldn't let them take presents. But no, they don't have that. And she obviously took them to people who were homeless, and that stayed with William ever since, hasn't it? And she wanted people to care about people. And I think that's what was important for her, not having loads of money. And the whole point is that Harry's got he's used to having loads and loads of money. And so it's not a great win for him. And Meghan, who hasn't been brought up with loads and loads of money, but has had it once she's got Harry, that's very important to her. The more she has, the better she feels about it. But for Harry, it doesn't mean very much, because in the end, he could go and ask his father desperately that he needs it. So he knows there's always something there for him. And I think that Diana's brother is completely wrong about his approach. I think he's very unhappy and doesn't feel that he wants that money really, but he has to take it because he's got no option. But the problem is that I think he wants to be a superstar himself to come near to Meghan, which will be jolly difficult. And he thought that if he could help the people, he said it a lot about the 39 people who are still, around, really. They've been paid, but he feels that he's got to protect them and he's got to look after them. And that's why he's got to get a lot of money to make sure that they're all right. They don't need him. They don't want him. He's not necessary in their life. It's as if he's in the wrong place. If they hadn't wanted it, they didn't have to take it. But I think he wanted to be proud that he could do that for them. So all his last, 6 years that he's been trying to sort out, to get this sorted by the son, he's pretending, or he thinks in his mind that he wants to make sure that these people are okay. They've got to be calmed down. The reason they took the money was because they had no choice. Well, how does he know that? Did he speak to the 39 people about that? Of course he didn't. So he was trying to place him as a hero, himself as a hero, and to get so much money that somehow they would think that he'd looked after them as well. I think it's a very, very sad reason why he kept saying no and kept going on. I think he wanted some sort of, I have done this.
Of course he did.
Royal succession is a legal matter, not just tradition. The palace's silence only fuels speculation. To understand the gravity of this, let's break down royal succession. The throne is inherited based on bloodline and legitimacy. Doubts about a royal child's biological link could raise questions. Disputed claims led to brutal conflicts in history. Could modern-day controversy brew?
Of course he did. But Angela, money talks, and he's all about the money. That's all he is now. That's all he cares about. Maybe that's Meghan's fault, because Harry certainly didn't used to be like that. He didn't care about the money before he was with Meghan. Can I also just make one quick point about Charles Spencer and his relationship with Princess Diana? A lot of people forget that in the months before her death, they had actually fallen out altogether because Charles Spencer refused her the home that she desperately wanted on the family estate. So that's the first thing I would say. And the second thing I would say is what Charles Spencer and Prince Harry maybe need to listen to, and certainly Meghan Markle, is Prince William's wish, which is that people stop invoking the memory of Princess Diana, stop saying, oh, this is what she would have been proud of, this is what she would have wanted, and let her rest in peace, because it sometimes feels like that's the only thing Harry's got, and certainly Charles Spencer has got, to be able to invoke Diana, which is particularly grim in my view. But you do think that there's been a big change to Harry, and you can, because obviously you know Harry, you spend a lot of time with him, and you can see it in his eyes.
Oh yes, it's a huge change. I mean, just let me say that decision that William made was 1 year after Diana's death, and he said the only way that he could really move forward is if we stop talking about her to the public, to outward. You know, if we think about it, that's fine, but we've just got to stop that. And Harry agreed with him, but he's found the need to talk about this endlessly now, over 20 years. And I think it upsets William all the time, but because he's got a happy family, he can manage it. But it's not a good way to be, is it?
Very, very true. Very, very true. A lot has changed, certainly.
But he's changed a lot in that he was enormous fun. He had a very, very quick humour, and he could understand particularly children. They loved him. He could understand what they needed and what they felt like and what they were like instantly. And he could see the ones that needed a cuddle. He could see the ones that needed a bit of football. And he could do that. And actually, he was the only one when he went out to Africa who could who sit for a long time and look after tiny babies of 2 weeks in his hands and just go up and down with them so that they would sleep. So there you have a man with a lot of love in his heart. And I think that now he's hardened because he hasn't got what he wanted, and he feels that he's been...
Angela Levin isn't the only one raising concerns. Lady Colin Campbell, another royal insider, has similar suspicions. She suggests there are unanswered questions about Meghan and Harry's children, questions Buckingham Palace has failed to address. The longer the palace stays silent, the more speculation will grow. If these claims were ever proven true, what would it mean for the monarchy?
Treated very badly by his family, as we all know. But the thing about that is that go away. If you don't like your family, you can't keep on going back. And one of the reasons why the king won't see him is because he will come in and shout and say, you know, you've got to apologize to Meghan, you've got to apologize for me, you know, it's been terrible. Well, you know, maybe they're not going to change, and you just fall out with your parents and you go off and you live, you know, by the sea with loads of bedrooms and bathrooms, and you just get on with your own family. I mean, people can do that. It's not exactly the best way to live, but if that's what you want to do, then don't go on and on and on and on and not move. And I think he should know, and all the people that he's gone to for therapy, I don't understand why they haven't helped him. My only answer to myself is that if you really don't want it in the depths of your heart, it's never going to work. You have to really want to move on, and he doesn't want to. And I think it's a shame that
he's living in the past. He's absolutely living in the past, and unfortunately, I see the rest of his life actually turning out that way, where he's always going to be wondering what if and not moving forward, because he's the one that took away his own purpose in life. But Angela, things are just getting more difficult in the US now for Harry and Meghan. I want to show you, and let me take you through it actually, this New York Post headline, which is really significant because the New York Post is, of course, close to close to President Trump. And they say that a conservative think tank is demanding President Trump release Prince Harry's immigration file on the heels of allegations that the Duke of Sussex may have lied about past illicit drug use when emigrating from the UK. Now, of course, Harry's immigration status has already sparked a legal battle and a pledge from Trump 78 on the campaign trail. But the fact that the New York Post is running this headline, Angela, feels really significant.
Yes, I think it is. Well, a lot of people are saying to Trump, get on with it, because they're fed up. I don't know that he actually thinks it's very important, the first 10 things he's going to do. But I mean, he's a man who feels very, very angry with Harry for upsetting the Queen and making her, during her illness of cancer, he was awful. Both of them were awful, him and Meghan. And I think that Trump is hugely against that. And in a way, he's the sort of man who wants to get his own back, doesn't he? And I think that it'll be very difficult for Harry. Now, we don't know 100% that he said he didn't take drugs when he signed all the paperwork. But we would just want to see it, and it's going to go on and on and on.
Archie and Lilibet could lose their royal titles. It could also spark a massive legal battle. Harry and Meghan have been at odds with the monarchy for years. They'd fight back with everything they've got. Would that battle damage the royal family's reputation? So, what do you think? Should Buckingham Palace address these rumours once and for all, or stay silent and let speculation grow? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button to stay updated. This story isn't over yet. We'll break it all down for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.